What's going on, YouTube? It's your girl Monique Nicole, and I am back with another video. Before we get started, honey, if you are new to my channel, please make sure you are subscribed. Go ahead and click that subscribe button down below, okay? While you are at it, go ahead and click the thumbs up button to like this video, because it is an easy and free way to help support my channel, because we are trying to grow. Stay it with me. Growth. Okay, I'm on the road to 2K subs, child. It's been a long road, y'all, and YouTube has tried to stop me, and I'm not giving up, y'all. I was monetized for maybe 3 weeks, and then they snatched it from me. And now I have to wait. Oreo. I gotta wait to a certain mark before I can reapply. Child, I do this because I love it. I do it because I enjoy it. I do it because I'm good at it. I do it because it's a creative outlet for me. Okay. But I would love to get monetized on this platform. So please, if you like the vibe, go ahead and subscribe. That right? Okay, y'all. So what's going on, y'all? We are back. Love and Marriage Huntsville season 10. What year? Do y'all know what year Love and Marriage Huntsville premiered? Let's see. Love and Marriage Huntsville. Let's see, premiere date. Seriously. I guess I should have been specific. Huntsville season 1 premiere date 2019. Wow. Okay. That's kind of weird, right? But yeah, since January 2019 to now, 2025, there have been 10 seasons of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Y'all know OWN does their stuff. Carlos King. Hey, Carlos. Hey, Raindrops. You know, Carlos and his production crew, they do the taping of their shows a little bit differently. We get like season 6, part A, part B. So they film it, they air the first half, take a break for 2-3 months, and they come back, you know. So I sometimes like it, and then I sometimes wish the break would be a little bit longer. That way we would miss them just a little bit. Just let it miss y'all a little bit. I could have went like I could have went 2 more months before Love and Marriage Huntsville, but it's okay. I'm not complaining, because so far it's been 3 episodes, and I'm actually really enjoying the season thus far. I feel like each episode has substance, and there's a lot of good conversation pieces and things like that to be had. So I'm not complaining. I know the millimeters were like, oh, what are we going to do without Mel? I was fine with Mel leaving. Like, you know, when she first announced it, I was like, damn, okay, it's going to be a little different without her, because I don't hate Mel. I just call her out on her shit. And her psychotic fans think that she's God and that she's above correction. And I don't subscribe to that logic for anybody on this earth. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if it's Beyonce, bitch. I love Beyonce. I'm a Beehive member since 1997. Okay. But I don't think anybody's above correction. So the delusional millimeters, I'm so glad we don't got to deal with the millimeters too much this season. But anyway, like I said, it's 3 episodes in. I don't want to get too excited. But honestly, so far so good, y'all. Let's get into it. I'm really gonna skip past episode 1. I don't want to talk about episode 1. I'm mainly gonna be talking about damn episode 3, because this past episode, y'all, there was a lot to discuss, right? But before I get to episode 3 and the Maurice of it all and the Jalen and the Mars, I mean, that was a huge conversation piece. I cannot wait to dive into that, the complexities of that situation. We're gonna start with episode 2, and I'm not gonna really talk too much about episode 2. I'm really gonna talk about Ken, Trish, and Marquez, whatever. Now, y'all know last season I read Marquez for filth. I called him every deadbeat dad in the book because he was like, to me as a man, there's just no excuse to abandon your children. There's no excuse to leave the responsibility up to the other parent. I just don't subscribe to that. I'm sick of us making excuses. I'm sick of black men making excuses. I'm so sick of this bullshit. Black men, y'all are the most deadbeat dads out there. I mean, there's a statistic for it. The statistic obviously doesn't say that, but we gotta do better. And my thing is, if it doesn't apply to you, let it fly. A hit dog is gonna holler. If you know that you're an amazing father, if you know that you are committed to being a parent, if you know that you show up for your children, not just financially, but when they need you, you're there. You go to their football games or soccer games or cheerleading practice, their gymnast. You know you're there. You know you send money. If you're not with the mom, you know you take care. If you know you are a present father, this don't apply to you. This quite literally applies to the deadbeats. Men, stop being deadbeat fathers. And black men, y'all rank the highest. Y'all rank the highest. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, so last season, y'all know I read the shit out of Marquez's ass. Marquez, whatever. However, this season thus far, because I don't want to give every time you give these ninjas too much credit, they show their black ass. So I don't want to give Marquez too much credit, but y'all know I'm fair. I gotta call a spade a spade. These 3 episodes, Trish is a huge, huge problem. She is a huge part of the problem. So let's go back to episode 2. Marquez bust up in their house. Now look, I do think that he could have handled that situation better. Like, I feel like even if that was my sister's house, I'm not just busting up in that bitch. Hey sis, hey, I'm here. Hi, can I come in? Like, my own sister. Like, Mark, I get it. Like, I sorry, I spaced out for a second, bro. This is why I don't like recording, because pre-recording, I really feel lonely. When I'm going live, I can interact with y'all. I see the comments. Anyway, I really zoned out for a second. Okay. Even my own family member's house, I'm gonna, hey, I'm here. Can I come? And 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, they know I'm coming because I don't go nowhere unannounced. Even my own damn mama house. I'm not going to pop up on my parents. I always call ahead. They know I'm coming. So listen, this is how I feel about it, right? Could he have handled it better? Yes. Could he have been like, hey, sorry, the daughter had some bags in her hand. I just came in to help. It's just, I do think his presence could have been a little bit more like, hey, knock knock, hey, sorry. He did walk in that bitch like he pays the bills there. He did walk up in that bitch like his bedroom is upstairs. He did. I will say that. But I do think Trish really made the situation worse. I think Trish's friend That bitch was acting like fucking Corella Deville. I just felt like her energy was so nasty towards Marquez. Like when she was like, I mean, it was so bad. It was to the point where he was like, "Oh, do I know you? Like, have we met before?" Like, she just came with so much animosity. I just feel like I don't overstep. Okay. I do not overstep. I don't care if my friend, if I'm with a friend and she just vented all this shit about what you done did to her and how you did this and how you did that and how, if the nigga walked in the room tomorrow or the next 5 minutes later, I'm gonna be like, hello, how are you? I'm not saying I'm gonna be all cheesing and smiling in his face, but I'm gonna at least be like, hi, be cordial. I feel like the friend was just way too comfortable being disrespectful. And I think Trish needed to check that. You know what I'm saying? But Trish, sorry, y'all, my lip gloss is all over the place. I think Trish has so much hurt and resentment for Marquez that she's just, even if he gets on his P's and Q's, even if he does right, even if he makes positive changes, I just feel like she has so much hurt. And I think that they need to have a counseling session as well. I don't know what she needs from him. I don't know if she needs an apology from him or she just needs changed behavior from him. But she is carrying a lot of resentment. And I'm not saying she's wrong for it because he has done some effed up stuff, right? Like before they split, he abandoned her when her damn parents died, her sister died. Like those are tragic losses, you guys. Take away how we feel, separate how we feel about Lockjaw. Like those are some really tragic losses that I could not fathom experiencing that much loss back to back. And then my husband, childhood sweetheart, even not being supportive. Like, I get it. And then, so you're not supportive during the darkest, lowest moments of my life. I lost my parents, I lost my sister, my world shattered. Not only that, you left me and your fucking kids, nigga, and you went to fucking Atlanta. Then you ain't paying no bills. Then you're leaving me with the, like, let's not pretend now. Trish got a reason to be upset. I'm not trying to negate what she's endured, right, from Marquez. But at the same time, it's like, sis, you can't have it both ways, right? Like, you got a new dude. He's in the house. He's taking care of you. He's taking care of your kids. He bought your child a car. Like, you moving on up. Hey, to the side. You moved on up in the world, girl. So I just feel like, okay, like, this dude was coming on the TV show. You knew Marquez was coming on this TV show with you, sis. Like, I just feel like you catch more bees with honey. Like, I feel like if you just need to cuss him out one good time and call him every name in the book, do it and just get it off your chest. You know how men sometimes fight? Then the next day they like, okay, I'm cool. I got it off my chest. I got it out my system. Maybe she needs to do that. Maybe she needs to whoop his ass one good time. Maybe she needs to cuss his ass out one good time, call him everything but a child of God. And maybe that'll make her feel better. But I think this bitterness and resentment, even though it might be warranted, it's just not doing anyone any favors. It's not helping the kids. It's not helping her. It's not helping Ken. It's not helping shit. Anyway, back to him busting up in their house. He was wrong for walking in their house, but gosh darn it, that bitch was wrong too. Trish was wrong. Her friend was wrong. And it was just very aggressive. It was very abrasive. It was very uncomfortable to watch. So I do see that Trish is a big part of the problem, and she's an instigator, and she just does a lot of bullshit. So his defense was, and he didn't say this at the time, but whatever, he says it later. His defense was like, hey, like, I think he was dropping off the girl, the daughter, and she had a bunch of bags or whatever, and a cup and a two bag. He was like, I'm not about to sit here and watch my daughter struggle with a bunch of bags in her hand. Like, I get it. I get it. I get it. You're her dad. Like, my dad would do the same thing. If I had 5 bags in my, he's going to help me too. I get it. but I just think there's a way to go about it, right? I think there's a way to go about it. But then again, like the TV side of it, I'm like, bitch, Trisha, you know he was when you're doing these reality shows, 9 times out of 10, okay, unless they're gonna hit y'all with unless they're hitting people with the okey doke, they have like a surprise person pop up, unless it's a pop up situation, you have a call sheet, you have a call time, you're getting mic'd up, you know who you're filming with today, you know the premise of what the conversation is going to be, you know what the main goal is. The main goal, hey, you're meeting with so and so, you're meeting with Trish today, and you know the main goal, y'all going to talk about XY. It's the same thing. I'm trying to tell y'all, this is on any, well, if it's a Housewives, if it's a whoever, Love It Hip, this is how it is. Ask any producer that works on this type of TV show. Like, that's what it is. So this whole shock of like I get it. He still could have knocked because the friend knocked, right? The friend knocked. So yes, he could have knocked. The friend rang the doorbell. He should have rang the doorbell. I do agree with that, but I just think the reaction was so intense. But I feel like at this point, Trish has so much resentment towards Marquez that it's just like, if he blinks wrong, she's gonna fucking have a conniption, right? Okay, let's move on. So let's get to episode Tree. Cha 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 cha. Ciao. Before I get to Maurice and Kimmy and Marceau and Monster and Jay, I'm gonna put a pin in that. So the girls and y'all, I didn't take notes. As you can see, I'm going straight off the dome. It's late. It's late. I'm tired. And if I don't do this video now, y'all not gonna get it this week. So if I do miss something, please don't charge it to my heart, and feel free to correct me in the comments. If you want to correct me, let me know. If you want to expound on anything, please drop down in the comments. I promise I will not be offended if I forget anything. So I want to talk about the girls. The girls meet up for dinner. And I will say the girls was giving, honey. Everybody looked amazing. Except for Trisha. Trisha looked okay. She looked okay. I think Kimmy looks beautiful. I think Tisha looked beautiful. I think Nell looked beautiful. I think they really all looked very beautiful. I loved all their outfits. I just thought it was really, I just love like when girls like just dress up and go have a nice dinner. Like, I just love that type of stuff. Okay, so they're just kind of first, they're having small talk. They're like, hey, we haven't really met up since LA, aka the reunion. We do need to get to know each other more. The ladies obviously want to get to know Trish more, and Miss Nell and all that. They've had their little moments with Miss Nell, but nothing too serious. I will say this: I gotta get on Tisha a little bit. I gotta get on Tisha. Tisha's energy is just very negative towards Nell, and I feel like it's very obvious. Like, it's so obvious. I will say Tisha pissed me off. Tisha pissed me off quite a bit during this episode, really during this dinner scene. She really pissed me off. What pissed me off first? Oh, let's see. Let me think. So I'll start with the whole, she was like, well, I was telling Kimmy that like I wasn't too sure about the Fletchers. And she was like, okay, why? And I'm trying to remember, did she say that because of the Destiny situation with Lance, or did she say that because of the NDA comment? Oh, fuck, y'all, I cannot remember. Okay, let's go with the Destiny thing first. I'm so glad I thought about that. Let's go with the Destiny thing. So y'all, Destiny, as y'all know, last season, Destiny was talking to, casually dating, whatever we want to call it, she was talking, dating, whatever, Lance, which is Miss Nell's son. Now, I already think that's a conflict of interest. I personally would not feel comfortable dating my coworker's son because I know this is a reality show to us as the viewers, but that is work for them. So I'm just gonna say coworker. That's something we can kind of relate to on a regular human to human level, whether you're a reality TV star or you're a regular civilian. Like I don't think I would like and then especially because he's younger, I feel like it would be a little bit different if Nell's son was older and he's just like, kind of on the same level as Destiny as far as like, a certain age level and once married, divorced. And I just feel like it'd be a little bit different. But I don't know. It's just something about dating my coworker's child and he's younger. I don't know. I just never liked it. I never liked the whole Destiny and Lance thing. I thought it was cute and funny at first. But then when I saw that real feelings were developing, I was just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I just knew it was gonna go left. One, because Destiny has a really bad dating history, and I'm not blaming her for it because she dealt with some pretty trifling stuff in the past from her ex-husband. He did her pretty dirty, but I just think Destiny has a terrible picker, you guys. I felt like Lance was a walking red flag. I felt like because of his age, it was just completely unacceptable to have two children. What was it? Two baby mamas or two ex-wife and a baby mama kind of near each other. The kids were kind of back to back. I just feel like that type of checkered past is not really a past. It's kind of, very recent. I just think that's very much so a red flag at my big age because I'm dating men who are my age and older. I am very realistic and I've made the decision that I'm okay dating a man that has a child. However, I do have certain stipulations. The child needs to be older than 5 years old. Um, I need to figure out the relationship between baby mama and the man. What's the tea? You know what I'm saying? What's y'all's dynamics? There's certain things I need to know, you know what I'm saying? So I know I would never date a man seriously that has a 2-year-old. That's a no, 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 no. No, that's too fresh. That's too recent. There could be a little gray area there. There could be some overlapping. I'm not doing that. So those are my stipulations, right? But yeah, I just thought Lance was a walking red flag. Handsome, yes. Charismatic, yes. Do I think he liked Destiny? Yeah. Do I think they had chemistry? Yeah. I have learned as I've gotten older, having chemistry with someone is only it's only like worth this, but like I've had chemistry with a lot of men in my past and doesn't mean I was supposed to be with them. You know what I'm saying? Like chemistry is just par for the course. Like, okay, cool, we got chemistry. That's dope. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. Sometimes chemistry is like a mother trucker. You be like, ooh, whoa, we connect. And I don't really mean sexual chemistry. I mean like, damn, we fucking connect. Um, but I just don't think Destiny made a good decision. Anyway, so child, sorry, y'all. I'm going on a fucking tangent. This is why I need y'all to reel me in. This is why I like going live versus doing a pre-record, but it's okay. We are here now. So what had happened was after filming last season, shortly after filming wrapped, um, everyone found out that Lance had a baby, a third baby. Um, like a woman like just delivered his baby. So what Miss Nell broke it down for them, it was like, well, no, honey boots. I did not know about this baby until we were in LA after we filmed the reunion. I had to leave LA early because while in LA, that is when I found out that the young lady was giving birth. to my grandchild. So I think what I understood was that Miss Nell said that's when she found out. We don't know exactly when Lance found out. So I got some questions there, Lancey Pooh. I got some questions for you, sir, because I want to know when the fuck Lance found out. But according to Destiny on the first episode or whatever, Lance had right here. Lance had what texted her like 10 minutes. This nigga Lance texted Destiny saying, "Yo, I got a baby." 10 minutes before he posted the shit on social media. I'm like, good golly. The disrespect, the disregard, just the shock. I mean, I can't imagine the shock, the pure shock and disbelief that Destiny had. That ninja texted her 5 to 10 minutes before he posted on social media. I mean, good golly almighty. I would have been pissed. So yeah, Destiny's pissed. She has every right to be pissed. It's a shit show. These niggas are it's a shit show. Okay, so basically because of that, that's when Tisha was like, "Oh, I wasn't sure about you, girl, because I thought she was a little shady because I just felt like, damn, how you gonna do Destiny like that?" And it was like, "Nah, baby, that's not how it happened. I didn't know. I found out last minute. I was in shock." You know what I'm saying? So Tisha asking all these questions, Also, it gets mentioned that the ladies and their husbands had a problem with um Chris's conversation with Melody last season, where she was confronting him about, "Oh, were you the friend that Martell went to about seeking out," whatever the bullshit was. I'm so sick of that shit. Whatever the fuck it was. And he was like, Chris was like, no, that wasn't me. Honestly, that sound more so like some Marceau and Maurice shit, having women sign an NDA and having a girlfriend sign an NDA. He said that sound more like them. When he said it, I feel like I like Chris. I have liked Chris from day one. Not only do I think he's an attractive man, I don't even like older men like that, but there's something about him. He's a very attractive man. And I love Miss Nell. I love them together as a couple. I really like them. I like Chris. But it's starting to come off like Chris. I don't want to say he can't be trusted. I don't want to say that. But it is starting to come off like Chris is one of those guys that will throw other men under the bus. And it's like, don't get me wrong, y'all. I think bro code is so toxic. I think the male fraternity, the fraternity that men have and the way they protect them, I do think it's egregious sometimes, especially when it teeters the line of abuse. And that's another conversation for another day. I just feel like Chris Fletcher is the type of man that, to protect himself and for him to not get caught, or for him to not get caught looking bad, even if he's not guilty, just him looking bad, I feel like he will throw other people under the bus, because I just felt like there was no need. Like, even though I got a good laugh out of it, hell, even though I believed him when he said that shit about the Scots I believed him. I did believe him. But even then, I do think it's kind of shitty. I just felt like in that conversation with Melody last season, he did not have to say that comment about, "Oh no, that sound more like Marceau and Maurice having girls sign ND." He didn't have to say that. He literally could have said, "Melody, absolutely not. I don't know where Martell got that shit from, but I can promise you right now, he did not get that from me. That's not my style. That's not how I operate. I don't move like that. I'm a man of integrity." Like, he could have said anything. He could have more so vouched for his character, but he did not have to throw Maurice and Marcel under the bus. I don't even see it for them. but I'm very much so a right is right, wrong is wrong. And I do think he was wrong for that. And that's just how I feel about it, right? So I get it. I think they had a right to be upset. This is where Tisha went left for me. I mean, her energy and attitude at the dinner table was terrible, right? So when the comments about Chris got brought up, of course, Tisha was being shady, but Kimmy was just like, Maurice was bothered by it. And, because Maurice always liked Chris, he's never talked bad about y'all, he's never thrown digs or anything. So he felt kind of bothered about that. And so Nell took it. She's like, you know what? I can't control my husband, but I definitely understand. And, she's gonna talk to him. I will say this when it comes to the Fletchers, I love how they communicate with each other. I love their level of transparency with each other. I like how she can correct him and he can correct her. And I just like how open you can tell they love each other. They're like best friend. Like if I'm gonna be married to someone for damn near 30 years, I want it to look like that. And this is not me idolizing them because I don't idolize any couple. Lord knows, you never know what goes on behind closed doors. But it's still, I've seen them enough to kind of get a feel for how they are, at least on the surface. They just seem like a real ass couple to me who keeps it real with each other. So I know Miss Nell gonna talk to Chris about it, and that's gonna be to be continued. Now, this is also where Tisha ass pissed me off. So she's firing off at this dinner table, right? She's firing off all these fucking questions and accusations and like snarkiness at Nell. So then Nell was like, "Well, bitch, I got a question for you." Mind you, that was not Nell's energy. Nell was just really saying this in her confessional, which they tape those confessionals after the fact. So she was just like, "Well, bitch, I'm gonna ask you a couple questions." Rightfully so, Nell. And it was a general like, so how did y'all feel about that interview, whatever that Martell did? And it's like before anybody could have a moment to think response, here goes Tisha. What did you think about it? Bitch, what? Don't ask no question with a question, you bitch. I don't like stuff like that. I just felt like her whole energy at the table, like Kimmy said how she felt. Everybody was on their side. It's not like nobody was on Martell's side. Like everybody at that table was on y'all's side. Like nobody was cheering on for Martell and what the fuck Martell did with coleslaw and that ugly ass orangutan looking trick. Like nobody was rooting for him. So I don't understand why Tisha had such a. Well, what did you think? Like, okay, like Kimmy spoke and said how she felt. Trish was like, that was some backwoods country ghetto, and everybody, Kimmy was like, right, like I just felt like, and then here Tisha, well, me and my husband, me and Marcel talked about it on our live. So if anybody wants to know what I think about it, they can go watch it on there. Like, that's so unnecessary. Like, girl, do you not see how you're coming? And I be trying so hard to like really kind of like be nice to Tisha because I feel like the last couple years she's got a lot of like unwarranted hate and nastiness towards her online, like especially from the millimeters. Like I feel like Tisha's been through a lot, so I really try not to give it to her too hard because I really don't want to kick nobody when they already down. I don't want nobody to feel bullied, but this is when I do have to get in her ass. I have to get in her fucking ass because it's just like Tisha. Her energy is nasty towards Nell. It's just a nasty fucking energy. And I'm like, okay, bitch. Now when Nell comes back later on this season and comes for your ass, like I'm not saying Tisha's a punk, but I just feel like she's no match for Nell. Now Kimmy might be, and we even see that they get into it later in the season. But I feel like Tisha, girl, you ain't no match for Miss Nell, for real, for real. Well, she did hold her own last season on that trip with Melody. I don't know. I didn't like Tisha's energy. I thought her energy was disgusting. It was disgusting. It was disgusting. Like, bitch, it would have taken nothing for Tisha to say, I thought that was disgusting what Martell did. It was some bullshit, girl. Ain't nobody checking for Martell. He full of shit. It it would have taken you nothing to say that. I didn't understand her just nasty attitude. I'm sick of talking about them bitches. Anyway, now before I get to what I really want to talk about, let me just go back to Lockjaw, Ken and Marquez. I was really pissed off when they had that sit down at the end of episode 2, which led to episode 3, and there was a physical altercation. Y'all, I'm sweating. Hold on. This ring light, I have this ring light on, and it's literally right there, and it is like, I mean, beaming on me. So it's hot. I swear I'm not going through menopause, y'all. But damn. Okay, I was really pissed off with that sit down with Lockjaw, Ken, and Marquez. I felt like Marquez, whatever the fuck, he came in there decent. I'm not saying he was all super positive and jolly, but I felt like he wasn't on no fucking level 10 like how Trish was. Trish was on, like, and I get it. The nigga walked in the house again. Marquez, you gotta read the room, my love. You gotta read the room. Because Trish even said, like, when the friend came after Marquez, she rang the doorbell like a normal person. Like, I just felt like whether or not you know we're about to film a scene, just be respectful. You, especially if you know that it was a point of contention the last time you were here, just ring. Would it kill you to ring the doorbell? You know what I'm saying? So I get the annoyance. I just think the level, like the reaction, I don't feel like it was warranted. And so I don't remember verbatim what was said, which led to the explosive argument. But I will say, Lockjaw caused a lot of it. Trisha caused a lot of it. She was defensive. She was on edge. She was being tit for tat with him. It was just like, and he even addressed it. He was like, "Yo, last time I was over here," he's like, "What made you just assassinate me in such a fucking way, like in front of this woman that I don't know?" Here comes Trisha. Well, I don't think we need to talk about the past. I don't think we need to talk about the past. Bitch, what? Weren't you talking? Huh? What do you mean, bitch? That was a few days ago. What you mean we're not gonna talk about the past, girl? Y'all was sitting up here talking about me, bitch. You was talking about the fucking past 5 minutes ago, bitch. Now you don't want to talk it up because I'm bringing it up and I have a valid point. Trish, if Ken better wake up with his goofy ass and wake the fuck up and see that your girlfriend is a part of the fucking problem. They both play a part in the bullshit. They both do. They both do. They 100% both play a part in this bullshit. It's very obvious. It's very obvious. So again, I don't remember the tit for tat. I don't have notes. I don't remember the tit for tat, tit for tat. It just got real petty. It got real stupid. It got real ignorant. And then people started getting loud. Then Ken started getting upset. I don't even understand what got Ken so upset. Now, again, I know they edit the show, but I just felt like Ken did not have to get that angry. And he got angry because they started talking about the fucking papers and how Trish didn't said she didn't have no minor children when she did, or it was just a whole thing. Then here comes Ken. Look at the paper. Look at the thing. Look at the thing. And it was like, you being disrespectful. You being disrespectful. Get the fuck out of her. Get the fuck out of her. Like he fucking convulsing. Like he fucking breaking out like into the Hulk. Like, nigga, calm down. It's clear that it got physical. I actually felt really bad because I feel like it was such an aggressive environment. And I just feel like that felt like a gang up. It just felt like they were piling on and ganging up on Marquez. And it just felt like nobody was in his corner. And I know the first episode of this season, like Trisha was saying something like she's trying to be mindful because she's trying to respect Marquez's family and stuff like that. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if his family doesn't want to be on the show, but if Marquez can get one friend or one relative to come and film with him whenever he has these meetups with Trish and Ken. I think that would be great because it's a real unbalanced playing field right now. And it's just like it's coming off like bullying and a gang up. And I don't like to see anybody be ganged up on or yeah, I just don't, I can't even think of the word I was trying to say, but railroaded or whatever. I just don't like to see that. And that scene felt really just bullying. It felt like a pylon. It just felt like Trish just doesn't see the error of her ways. And I'm sick of Ken acting like we have no problems outside of Marquez. We got no problems, dude. Yes, the fuck you do, nigga. Do you forget on the finale of last season, y'all had a whole fucking blowout between the two of y'all, and you aired that bitch out, and you let the whole America know that that bitch is broke, even though she's an accountant and she's broke. I don't know any broke accountants. And I know there's levels to this shit, but she made it seem like she's been doing this for a long time. So I feel like if you were OG, if you a vet as an accountant, bitch, you should be making some coins. So again, so Ken, I'm when I tell y'all, I'm not even gonna get into the scene that he had with Chris Fletcher and his homeboy, but I love a friend that holds their friends accountable. Shout out to Ken's friend. I don't even know the band's name, whoever that man was that met up with him and Chris, clock it, baby. Ken's friend was like, my boy, I ain't doing this bullshit with you now. I'm about to hold you motherfucking accountable. Like they was grilling his ass. And whenever he saw that Chris and the friend were not agreeing with him, he just kept getting louder and louder and louder. Like he about to turn to the whole. Like they was like, I'm not agreeing with you. So it's just stop. Because I'm not like the friend is probably like, I am sick of this. I am sick of this. That friend said, because Chris was like, what would you do if you were in a situation? And he was like, that friend was like, baby, if I was Trisha would have been a thing of the past, honey, because this shit is not worth it. Bitch, call me when your divorce is finalized. Until then, I want no. Listen, I'm not dealing with Ken. I like Ken. I do think he's a very stand-up guy, but he got a lot of issues to work on. And so does Trisha. And if he can't see that Trisha is a big part of this issue with Marquez, then I can't, like, bitch, you got your blinders on and I can't help you. If you want to be willfully ignorant, I can't help people who want to be obtuse. I cannot help people who want to be willfully ignorant. If you need help seeing the light, I'm going to help you. But if you want to be obtuse, I can't help you. I can't and I won't. Like I said, with Marquez, if I was Marquez, I wouldn't film no more. Let me shift production's wig a little bit. Why did it take so long for production, for security, for whoever to come in during that scene at Trish and Ken's house with the Marquettes? What if Ken broke that nigga in half? What if they full on, I'm talking about sprawl, because even though it got physical, I don't think it was a full beat up. I think there was probably contact was made, maybe a little swing, maybe a push, maybe one hit, but I'm talking about, I feel like the way the animosity and the tension was just brewing, I felt like security, production, whoever should have been. They should have got their asses out there to neutralize the situation. I've seen them neutralize the situation for much less. For much less. Ken, I'm not saying Marquez wouldn't have gotten his no licks in, but Marquez, I feel like if Marquez really, I feel like if Ken really got a hold of Marquez, he would have broke that nigga in half. Do you see the Hulk? Do you see what Ken looked like? Ken's leg alone could crush Marquez. His leg. Have y'all seen his workout pic? Baby. Production. If I was Marquez, I would say, fuck y'all. I'm not filming not nan motherfucking scene with Hulk and Lockjaw unless I have a neutral person there because y'all not about to keep dog piling on me and bullying me. I ain't gonna do this, bitch. I'm gonna have somebody from my family come up in this bitch. Cause Trish, you got all this might because there's nobody in his corner right now. Bitch, let Marquez start to roll up the film with somebody from his family. I bet you Lockjaw gonna shut the fuck up and act right. She ain't gonna be so rowdy bout it. I bet you that. Go on, Marquez. Bring your sister, your cousin, your auntie, your homegirl from around the way. Bring somebody with you, nigga. Because bitch, that would be the last time I let Lockjaw and the Incredible Hulk punk me out on national fucking television. And then their poor son was upstairs and came downstairs. I can't. We need Iyanla. We need Iyanla. Speaking of needing Iyanla, you know who else need a Iyanla? Maurice, Kimmy, Jalen, Emma. Y'all, I've been watching Love and Marriage Huntsville from the beginning. I never thought I would see the day where I would agree so much with Marceau Scott. I mean, the pigs are flying. Not only did I never think I would see the day where I would agree with him so much, because I left a comment on social media the other day under one of the posts. I was like, I'll be damned. The past 2 seasons, I have actually found myself agreeing with Marceau more than I ever have during the entirety of this series. The last 2 seasons, the last 2 years, whatever, I'm like, whoa. I have never agreed with Marceau this much in capacity. Like I never. And who, not only that, who would have thought that? Who would have thought that Marceau would have been deemed more of a father figure than Maurice? Okay, so let's get into it. I am confused, like a lot of y'all are, as far as why is this coming up now in the story? We've seen Jalen on the screen a lot the past few years, the past few seasons. So I'm not understanding why this is now coming up. Hey, but I'm glad it did, right? I'm actually really happy it did because I felt like this topic spoke to so many viewers for a variety of reasons, right? So let's paint the picture. And I don't want to spend too much time. I want to give a thorough review of this part, but I'm also getting sleepy. Let's paint the picture. Kimmy meets Maurice. They start dating. Things get serious and they move in together. They later on get married, blah, 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 blah. I think it would help us as the viewers if we knew the timeline, right? I don't need to know the dates. I just need to know the age of Jalen. How old was Jalen when Marceau, yeah, woof. How old was Jalen when Maurice and Kimmy moved in together? How old was Jalen when Maurice took more of a step parent, I guess, role, if you will? I need to know because the ages of the child is very important. It does not take away Jalen's experience whatsoever or what he expressed this episode, because it doesn't, but it just adds a little more context to it. Somehow, again, I don't even know where this originated from, but this episode, Jalen expressed that he never really, he does not look at Maurice as a father figure. He looks to Maurice more like a mentor, a homie, big bro, my homie. That's my dog. That's my dog. Yeah, like, but not father figure. In fact, he actually looks at Marceau more like a father figure, which is beyond me. I'm like, this can't be the same Marceau Scott that almost poisoned his son. The first, I don't know if it was son or daughter, whatever. This can't be the same Marceau Scott that almost poisoned his child season one and was about to give him a PB&J when the baby was allergic to peanut butter and almost killed the child. This cannot be the same Marceau, who really don't do much, that doesn't even take his son, did not even take his son to get haircuts, that left that up to Tisha. This can't be the same Marceau Scott that don't really do shit, that when Tisha had to go somewhere, he was about to hire a babysitter to watch the kids because he didn't want to watch the kids. This can't be the same Marceau Scott. That's what I was thinking. However, I think that a couple things come into play. I think that one, Jalen was a little older, so and of course, it's being a mentor, being a father figure to someone is not the same as raising a kid. So Jalen was already of a certain age, so sure, it's easy. Probably was easier for Marceau to come in and be more of a leader, father figure, whatever. They work together a lot. You spend so many hours together when you're at work, especially that nightlife restaurant. The restaurant Black or whatever, like that nightlife. You at that job a lot, and so your coworkers in those settings, oftentimes you do become close with a lot of them. So I get it. I also keep in mind what Tisha said last episode about how when they were talking about the son going off to college soon and how he was like, I'm going to miss dad. And, Tisha in the confessional was like, I am the more active parent. I do so much shit to hold this fucking house together and hold these kids together. But of course, Marceau, he comes in and he's the cool dad. He's the fun dad. He's the one that gets to play with them and be all and I gotta be the disciplinarian. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I gotta pick them up. I gotta take them to get a haircut. I gotta make sure I gotta sign them up for this. That's why I was shocked. But I'm glad Jalen had somebody to look at as a father figure, right? So there's so much to dissect, right? Jalen made examples and was just like, hey, like growing up, it would be like me and Monster are together playing video games. You come in and you only ask me to do stuff. And I'm like, but Monster's right here. Like, listen, this is where it gets tricky, right? So yes, when you're an older sibling, even if you're not the oldest, right? There's a pecking order here. If you're an older sibling, yes, your parents by nature are going to look to you. You may gonna have more responsibilities. You may gonna but I don't think the older sibling, whether you're the oldest or not, I don't think any sibling should be made to feel like they have to be like perfect or they got to be the second parent. I think that's just not fair. I think that's too much pressure. I think every child deserves to be treated like a child. And under no circumstances, I don't care if I'm older. I don't care if you think I'm more mature. I don't care what you think, what ideology you come up with. Under no circumstances, in my opinion, do I feel like a parent, a step parent, damn near not a step parent, should walk in a room and see two of your kids playing video games and then you only have one of them stop playing the video game to go do a chore, to go do a task. Absolutely not. I don't think that should have ever happened. Now, sure, if because Jalen's older and there is an age gap between him and Monster, okay, maybe you assigned more chores for him or more difficult, the more hands-on chores for him to do, sure. Maybe you assign Jalen to do laundry, but you assign Monster to do dish. Okay. But I feel like if you walk in and they're both playing video games and there's chores to do around the house, hey boys, hey guys, can y'all take a like an hour break and help me and Kimmy? Can you Monster, you help sweep and do the dishes? Jalen, can you tackle the laundry? Thanks, bud. That's how you do it. That am I crazy? To me, that's how you do it effectively. You never want one child to feel isolated. You never want one child to feel picked on. You never want one. I mean, goddamn, is this fucking Cinderella, bitch? I feel like that's how if I was Jalen, I would have been like, God dang, bitch. Is this Cinderella or what, sis? I mean, you cool? Is you cool? I would have felt some type of way, right? And it just feels like I get it. You know, Maurice just it's like, oh God. Outside of his household, I do think overall, I do think Maurice gives good advice, right? I've seen him good. I've seen him give good advice to Martell in the past. I've seen him give good advice to other people on the show in the past. Two things can be true. I also think that Maurice comes off like he knows it all. I also think Maurice comes off like he's above correction. I also agree with Melody. It was like years ago, and she was like, "I'm so sick of Maurice and these Martin Luther King speech." I about fell out. I mean, so funny, and I get it, but it's just like, and then it came up that like they're doing a family business. I don't know if it's a restaurant, what the hell it is, but Kimmy was telling Maurice, like, "Hey, the boys have some reservations, honey, because they feel like you about to be a goddamn dictator in this bitch." You know what I'm saying? And then let's get to the dinner scene with the Scotts. It comes up in conversation. At this point, Maurice already had a conversation with Jalen. So he actually did hear some of this from Jalen's mouth, from the horse's mouth, or. So, and again, damn it, I was Team Marceau. So Kimmy is speaking, right? And at this point, Kimmy reveals that like she basically co-signs with what Jalen says. She was like, "Hey, yeah, you did treat Jalen a little different. You were a little harder." I don't remember if she said this in the scene or in the confessional, but she did say that privately at the time, those years ago, she did have a conversation with Maurice and was like, "Hey, I want to see. I really wonder when Monster, moves in and lives with us full time or whatever. I want to see if you continue this same treatment. I want to see if it's going to be evened out." My thing is, Kimmy, and I don't want to beat a dead horse because all the YouTubers and content creators were kind of saying the same thing. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but and again, I don't want to judge Kimmy too much because we're not in their home. We don't know how many times she's had this conversation with him. But at the same time, Kimmy, I do feel like you owe it to Jalen to, at the time, right? It's great that you're now validating Jalen's feelings and emotions about how things were done in the household. But what about then? What about the years prior when Jalen was expressing things to you? I mean, it's just like, even if you express it to Maurice and he did not improve. So at what point do you say, "Hey, Maurice, I don't think you're aware of this. I don't really like the way you're treating my son. It feels like you're treating Jalen X, Y, and Z. I'm not saying you don't care about him. I'm not saying you don't love him, but I'm letting you know it is now becoming a problem for me and my child. And I sincerely need you to work on this. I don't know if we need to go to family therapy. I don't know what we need to do, but something has got to give because this is really negatively impacting my child. And I can no longer accept this type of discourse in the home." You see how amazing that fucking sounds? You see how amazing that fucking I just came up with that shit straight off the fucking dome. And look, I don't live in them people's house. So I don't know if Kimmy said something like this. But it's coming off, Kimmy, like you was enabling. It comes off a little bit like you was choosing a man over your child. Oh, did I say that out loud? It don't look good, Kimmy. But I thank you for advocating for Jalen. I thank you for validating his feelings. So let me give kudos to Marcel. So she expresses that, right? Kimmy expresses that she observed it too. And then here goes Maurice. Yeah, yeah, but I was like when Marcel said, hold up. He wouldn't even let Reese get a sentence out. He was like, hold on. He was like, Reese, if you're gonna like respond with the but, it's just like it's so not conducive to a positive conversation. I'm paraphrasing or whatever. He didn't say all that, but he basically said that. And Reese was like, well, you don't know what I was gonna say. What was I gonna say? He was like, I don't know what you're gonna say, but the energy. Shout out to Angela Oakley. It's the energy. Maurice, beloved, it's the energy. Like your energy. What's the famous saying that we all know now? You were listening to respond instead of listening to comprehend. I'm going to say it again for the slow people in the back. Maurice was listening to respond instead of listening to comprehend. So, and his energy, it's this energy. It was the energy that Maurice had. It was like, yeah, but it was giving, yeah, but it is just like, my nigga, Maurice. At this point, my love, you have had 3 people tell you this. 2 of them being your wife and your brother. Not to mention, Jalen said this out his own fucking mouth. So at what point do you humble yourself, beloved? At what point do you humble yourself? At what point do you do a little bit of self reflection? I get it. It can hurt, right? Self reflection or realizing that you messed up or realizing that you did not handle a situation in the best way. Um, realizing that realizing that you've left a negative impact on some. Yes, that is a very hard pill to swallow. And I get it. It's not easy being confronted on something like that. But I do think that if you hear this 3 times from 3 very important people in your life, I do think your energy should not be yeah, but I think you should have more of a damn. That fucking hurts. I had the best intentions for Jalen, but I'm willing to admit that maybe I didn't do it the best way. I'm willing to admit that I could have been better at being a step parent. Maybe I could have been more present. Maybe I could have been more hands on. I messed up at some point. I love the kid. I want the best for the kid, but yeah, I might have messed up somewhere. That's what Jalen needs to hear. That is what Kimmy wants to hear. That is what Marceau wants to hear. They don't want to hear yeah, but they don't want to fucking hear that, sir. They don't want to hear that. Maurice has to work on accountability. Maurice, my love, you cannot be right about everything. You can't be right all the time. You got on Melody, rightfully so. He got on Melody last season for basically acting like she was above reproach. He used a different fancy word, but I don't remember it. But basically, he called her out again, rightfully so, because Melody often acts like she's above correction. And I just think it's interesting because I'm like, Maurice, you kind of act the same way, beloved. You actually act the same way. So the episode ends with Maurice and more so going at it and da da da. But I feel for Jalen. But I'll be honest, y'all. I don't think it's a Jalen thing. If you ask me, goddamn, watching the series all these years, I feel like Maurice is not a hands-on parent with Monster either. I feel like Kimmy is the one, like Tisha, that does most of the work. I feel like is it a Scott brother thing? Because I'm sorry, Marcel, you don't really have a lot of room to talk because you wasn't present as a father either, according to Tisha, and according to what the fuck we've been watching for the last 6, 7 years, beloved. You wasn't the most hands-on father. To be quite frank, the last couple of seasons is the most we've ever seen you interact with your children, quiet as it's kept. So it's just like, mm, Mm, I really don't when it comes to Maurice and the Jalen and I feel like Maurice be neglectful of both Jalen and Monster. And Monster is his own flesh and blood. That's his own seed. And I still feel like he be not really the most present, not the most hands-on with Monster. I feel like every time is with Monster, I just feel like they never have like really nice moments. It's always coming off like Maurice is this strict disciplinarian and he's like this dictator and just authoritative. It doesn't come. I'm like, God damn, were you a military brat? Like, were you in the military? Did your daddy serve in the military? Because I just don't really remember seeing Monster in Maurice having a lot of soft, you know, father son. I think there was one time when they played basketball a couple years ago, but it just still felt so like tense. Like Maurice, I get it. You want to raise good black men. You want to raise disciplined black men, but god dang, can you laugh a little bit with your kids? You know what I'm saying? And one thing, this is why I should have taken notes. I'm all over the place, but it cracked me up when Jalen, baby, it cracked me the fuck up when Jalen was like, I mean, yeah, I mean, you helped me learn how to change a tire. You helped me with, learn how to fix a light bulb. You helped me with, learning how to unclog a toilet, simple shit. I was like, yo, this is so sad. You was Maurice, you was in the house with this young black man, this young black boy, because I don't like calling men too early. I feel like we need to still call them boys. I feel like calling a young black boy a man too soon might put like pressure on them. Anyway, that's just me. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm saying but how I feel about it. I feel that is fuck up my eyelash. I feel like Maurice should be ashamed of himself that you was in the home with this young black boy, helped raise him and instill things in him, allegedly, because I don't really. And all he can really give you credit for is teaching him how to fix a couple things, or handyman stuff around the house. Ooh, like what about instilling in him integrity, character, being a man of your word, being honest, being forthcoming? What about hard work? And I'm not saying you didn't. It's just like it's almost it's to me when Jalen listed those handyman stuff, to me, that was just it was equivalent to like if someone says, "Oh, do you think so and so is like, what do you think about so and so?" And they're like, I mean, she's pretty. She's got nice hair. Like, you're not saying anything about her character, her personality, her talents, her gifts, her skill set, her integrity, her character, like you're not saying anything of substance and value. And that's how I felt when Jalen's like, I mean, you taught me how to change a tire. You taught me how to. It was just like, oh my God, if I was Maurice, bro. If I was Maurice, I would be fucking mortified. That's your takeaway from having this black man in your house who was supposed to be a father figure. That's your big fucking takeaway? That nigga helped you change a fucking tire and fix some stuff around the house. Like, God. It seems like Maurice has a problem cultivating relationships with his sons, his children. It just seems like he has a hard time cultivating meaningful relationships with his children. Monster too, Monster and Jalen. That's why I don't feel like this is a typical, oh, this was my stepchild and the stepchild, got treated different. Like he obviously he did get treated differently, but it's like Maurice don't be treating Monster too great either. It ain't like he has this amazing bond with Monster. It's just I hope Maurice one day does some self-reflection very soon. I hope he does some self-reflection very soon. I hope he takes some accountability soon. I think they should go have a family therapist. And I realized that Maurice is a lot of projection because when Jalen was like, yeah, like I kind of, I want to get out of Alabama. I've been here for damn near all my life. Da, da, da. It was just like Maurice. Oh, well, you feel like you gotta leave to do that? Yes, dumb fuck. I what? Sorry. Woo. Try not to curse too much. Yes, dummy. What? Like the boy set the conversation up. Like he said it. I've been here all my life with me and my mom. I kind of want something new. I want a fresh start. I want to be in a new place. I want new experience. And you feel like going somewhere, moving somewhere is gonna, yes, idiot. What's not clocking to you? What's not clocking to you? He don't want to be in fuck ass Huntsville no more. Damn. Ugh. I've been talking for an hour and 12 minutes. I got to go. And I've been yapping, yapping, yapping. I didn't even do my little like this video, baby. Please hit the like, run the mother freaking likes up, y'all. I'm my channel, baby. I struggling, y'all. I need to grow. Say it with me. Grow. Like the video, subscribe if you're new, and please turn on the notification bell button. That way you will be notified whenever I drop new content. Y'all, I probably missed something important. I hope not. Again, I didn't have no notes, so I went straight off the dome. If I did forget something, please be kind and just put it in the comments and we can chat about it in the comments. Again, run these likes up, run these numbers up. I'm probably gonna come back. What's tomorrow? Thursday. I'm either gonna come back Thursday or Friday with some more content. I got some stuff to talk about, y'all. Hot topic stuff. I still haven't even talked about child, I almost said Love and Basketball Wives with Jackie Christie and her daughter and the infamous slap. There's so much to talk about, and then just even pop culture news and just world news and politics. There's so much to talk about. So I'm either gonna come back. I'm gonna come back this week between Thursday and Friday. Oh Lord, I can't even talk. Between Thursday and Friday, either with the hot topics video or something else. Oh, I also watched that damn new Netflix special. What is it called? The Hunting Wives. Ooh, child, boo boo kitty, boo boo kitty, boo boo kitty. I gotta do a video. Probably gonna record that. I want to go live. So I'm probably going to go live with that next week because we got to talk about the hunting wives. Anyway, I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button and I'll see y'all later. Bye.